Hey guys, this is TJ White, creator of Ultimate War Alliance, and on our fourth day of our 4-year anniversary celebration, I just wanted to talk a little bit about the history of Ultimate War Alliance. Um, so it all starts back in 2009, um, just the 8th grade year of school. Me and my friends, we were really into Halo that year. Like that was like the big thing, Halo 3 and all that. So my brother and I, my younger brother and I, we were just, he showed me Red vs. Blue, and we were watching like all the episodes. I don't think Reconstruction was out yet, so I think it was just seasons 1 through 5. We were just kind of sitting there watching all 100 episodes of the 5 seasons, and we had always loved to do films, like movies and all this. We would always just do them randomly at our house. And we thought of the idea, why don't we do a movie inside of Halo? So we started off with that. That's where we started off with. We were gonna originally do a comedy, but as we started trying to think of ideas, we realized it's a lot harder to do comedy than it is to do a serious type of machinima. Back then we didn't know what it was called machinima. We called it like web series is what we originally called it because we didn't know what it was. But so we realized that, and then so I went into school the next day, and I started talking to my friends about it because we knew we would need people to act in it and all that. So that's how it started. I went to my friends, and we thought we all were like, "Oh my god, this is like awesome." So it was like me, Charles Polk, Zatzel Peasy, Khalid Jennings, Joe De Palma, Jimmy Coyle, and Dante Keeler. We were all just kind of sitting there, and we were like, "All right, this is great." We started shooting out ideas, and my one friend Zatzel Peasy, he was like, "Yo, dude, you didn't need a website for this, not just a YouTube channel, because you need something to look professional." So he was like, here's the website Weebly.com, and it allows you to create free websites." I was like, "Oh, cool, that's awesome. I'll check it out when I get home today." So that's what I did. I went home that day and checked it out and started designing the website. Well, the next step was the name. We needed a name for our group. So the next day we just kind of sat there and we wrote down some ideas on a piece of paper in a list, and we had about 4 or 5 names out there that we could have chosen from. I don't remember what they were. Um, but then Jimmy Coyle thought of the idea. He was just like, "Yo, what about Ultimate War Alliance?" And we threw that one down on the list, and like immediately we knew that was the name we were going with. We all loved the idea, so we went with that one. And so when I got home, I finished up the website and I published it for free. Um, so then the next thing was we had already had the scripts written up because my brother and I started working on them, and we started our we're calling it the mini series because they weren't as good as we had hoped they were going to be. They were good, but like it was our first attempt at something, so like we didn't really know how filming worked. We just knew we wanted to do it. Like there was no real in the first couple episodes. It was like I think in the first episode there was no music at all in it. It was just game sound effects from the video game itself and our voice in it. That was all it really was. It was like nothing else. That was it. And then we started doing some other stuff through each part came out, and they were called episodes. Each episode came out, and they would get progressively better until we got to part 4, where for some reason the camera went to shit. And that's mostly because we didn't know about capture cards and all that back then, or well, I think we may have known about them, but when we looked them up, they looked extremely complicated. So we just said, "Fuck it, we're not gonna do that." So we were just using a regular old HD video camera, and that was like the worst mistake we could have ever used because it just came out so shitty. But now we have a capture card, so it's fine. Everything looks perfect. But yeah, the mini series, final. We came up with we need a name, so I wrote down Final War. I was like, it's supposed to be a final war between humans and elites. So I was like, oh, there's the sub name Elite Wars, even though it really made no sense because elites weren't fighting each other. It was humans versus elites. So, but anyway, that's what we came up with was Final War Elite Wars. So immediately we started working on that. We went right into it and started filming and editing and doing all the voice stuff. And back then I didn't have any of the editing software I have now. I was just using Windows Movie Maker, which is decent when you're first starting out. But I mean, like you definitely want something like I have now, like Vegas Pro. Um, I used Adobe Premiere Pro for a while. It's pretty good, but I would recommend Vegas Pro, the Vegas Pro series. It's a lot cheaper than Adobe, and I find it a lot better than Adobe. I don't know why Adobe prices their stuff so high. Getting back on topic though. Um, so after about the 4 parts of well, there were 7 parts, but only 4 episodes because that was back when YouTube was only doing the 10-minute videos, and so we were cutting. Part 4 was about 17 minutes long, and it was three parts because we cut them off at a perfect spot where we knew where it was just transitioning to another scene, so we just cut it off there and we put on to the next one. It ended up being 3 episodes long, 3 parts long, and then we ended the season there, the miniseries there, and it just kind of it leads you into it led us into the next thing we did where we were just like, all right, we're not going to do this one where we're going, we're doing 1 episode and then we're going to go and script up the next one and then edit it together, even though they're all like 10 minutes, they're not even 10 minutes long. We're like, that just makes no sense. We're going to do kind of what Red vs. Blue does where, you know, we're going to script a whole season out. We're gonna film it all. We're gonna get everything together and edit them all together, and then we'll upload them. So we went right into season 1 of Final War: The Elite War because we changed it, and we were like, all right, well, Elite Wars doesn't really make sense because elites aren't fighting each other. The elites are fighting the humans. So it would make sense to call it The Elite War. So that's what we went with, and the first season was pretty good. But we did lose Jimmy Coyle, Dante Keeler, Joe De Palma, and Charles Polk, because at that point we had all graduated from 8th grade, and it was we were freshmen in high school. So some of us drifted away. Some Charles, I don't know whatever happened to Charles. He just so I don't really know what happened with Charles. He just kind of stopped responding to messages. So I kept waiting. I kept sending him messages, trying to get a hold of him. He wouldn't respond. I had season 1 of Final War: The Elite War all filmed, everyone else's voices ready to go. I was just waiting for him, so I was like, you know what? I'm not waiting anymore. Screw this. If he's not gonna respond, I'm getting someone else. So we replaced him with Brandon Weist, who is still with us today. I'm actually just waiting for the hunted we're doing. I'm just waiting on him and Dan to send in voices. So we did season 1, Final War: The Elite War season 1 with him, with Brandon. Season Final War: The Elite War season 2. We still came out. We still did the same people. Actually, right before season 2, we did um, Spartan Squad Delta Part 1. And that one incorporated some new people, just 2, and that's because I needed older people, so I got my parents to do it. Um, but anyway, so Final War then season 2 of Final War: The Elite War comes out. That one was all good. So then we got right after that when we started getting new people. We ended up getting Kyle Squira, Joe Paradiso, Steve O'Brien, Francesca Matrena, um, who else was there? Dan Van Fossen, and I believe that was it. Oh, yeah, I don't think I talked about this though, but yeah, my brother Eddie, he after Final War Elite Wars, he dropped out too. He just never did it anymore. He just acts like he's too cool for anything, so he just kind of dropped it. Um, so yeah, we got those new people. We did Spartan Squad Delta Part 2, where Kyle Swear has actually replaced Zatzel Peasy as a voice actor because Zach just started using a computer program, and that's not really what I wanted. He was just using a computer program to do his voice, and it kind of sounded like an AI if you've watched it and listened to General Zach Schaefer. It just sounds like a robot. So he had problems with his computer, so I saw that as the opportunity to get someone else to do it. So we still have Zach as a co-founder and a co-director, but he's no longer a voice actor. We play Kyle Swear is now doing his lines. Um, Final War: The Elite War season 3 we're working on right now with Steve O'Brien being in it, Kyle Swear. Joe Paradiso is only a body actor. Um, and Francesca, she's in The Hunted. She auditioned and she got the part, so she's in that. Um, so that's in yes. Spartan Sword Delta Part 2 came out in December of last year, the very end of 2012. Um, and then now we're working on The Hunted, Spartan Sword Delta Part 3, Final War: The Elite War Season 3, Resist, Glasslands, Evil Co vs. Good Co, and Math Class is all being worked on right now. And honestly, I gotta say, it has been really fun working with all these people and doing all of this Ultimate Warline stuff. Like, it's really fun. Like, we don't make money off of these. We just do it for fun. And I think, honestly, I've spent probably about $500 on making these. But it's all worth it. It's really fun. Um, yeah, I don't think there's anything else to talk about for the history. Um, like I said, in the future plans, we have some great new ideas coming out there, some new videos. We may have some non-Halo videos coming out. As you can see, the background is clearly to this video is clearly Modern Warfare 3's campaign. Um, I did that mostly to get away from the Halo because I feel like we overdo Halo stuff too much. That's basically all we do is Halo. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna actually try writing up a Modern Warfare 3 machinima. And I say Modern Warfare 3 because Black Ops 2 I don't have because I don't like it. I never bought it. My brother has it. I don't. It looks terrible, so I'm just like, no. I Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, so I don't want to. That's my opinion. I know other people are like, oh, it's great. You're stupid. I don't know what you're talking about. The game's great. It's just my personal opinion, so please don't put any hate mail on this. But that's all I really got to say about this. So this has been TJ White signing out.